Why did Jesus have to leave so that the Holy Spirit will come? It's something surprising, rather curious, but that is what Jesus said to Marie-Madeleine. He also had said this in another place, "It is in your interest that go away, because if I do not go, the Holy Spirit will not come." This is found in John chapter 16, verse 7. So, first of all, does that mean that the Holy Spirit was not there in the first place? Of course he was there. He has been there all the time. He has been there since the beginning of humanity, by a particular grace which is called divine premonition. It means that within man who did not know Christ, and this is the case since the times of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, etc., the Holy Spirit has been constantly drawing the heart of man to himself, and this attraction has caused anguish, bizarre anguish, discomfort there within the heart or the soul, because the man who did not know where this had to come from and had been feelings about themselves, and consequently they did not know why. So many were dizzy in activities, violence, etc. But sooner or later, even if only in old age or in the evening, this anxiety returned as soon as they thought about themselves. Saint-Augustin describes it well. "Before knowing you, the true God, I loved you, because my heart was restless until it rested within you." So this divine premonition had transformed the heart of man into an unhappy heart for as long as man did not know him. It was a given grace from the Holy Spirit, but the present we are talking about now is not the same thing. God, Jesus, desires that the Holy Spirit will come in us, so that we may live with Him by knowing Him and loving Him in mutual love. A kind of love of friendship called charity. A supernatural love, because a love of friendship with a person infinitely more powerful than us, this does not exist normally. You can't be friends with a superior. You must have some form of equality. So then the Holy Spirit had been there, but friendship was not possible. One man in the Old Testament tried. It was King David. He wanted to take the Ark of the Covenant home, and it had not been the appropriate time, so God had sacred him, while the Ark of the Covenant had been transported home by priests who were charged to do so. A man passing by along the street wanted to help them because he was going to overturn the ark. God had rushed upon this man and killed him. So David had been afraid, and you cannot friendship for someone for whom you fear. The result, Jesus came to proclaim and realize this. How can someone announce this message? First of all, by preaching who the Father is, and therefore who the Spirit is. That it had been possible to love God that way by saying so, by saying it explicitly. Jesus said at one point, "If anyone loves me, this gives you the Trinity. We will come into him, and we will make him in him our abode there, so that we may abide in him." That's it, that intimate friendship. The problem, why did Jesus have to go? Well, because Jesus was present before Marie-Madeleine, Mary before the saints. Outwardly, she has always internalized herself and lives from the spirit of her Son, God, in prayer, since always she is Immaculate Conception. But for Marie-Madeleine and all the other sinners, no, there is a contradiction. Magdalene couldn't imagine that the Spirit of Christ is within her at the same time while Christ is present in front of her. So when she sees him, she rushes and grabs him by the ankles, the feet, and she had done the morning of the resurrection. And when she had not seen him, she thought that he had no longer been present there, which is a normal reaction to have. And so it's better that he leave. When he leaves, then he will be able to send the Holy Spirit, and Marie-Madeleine will be filled with the Holy Spirit, a trance here, a feeling of power within her heart, a feeling of love, at the same time gentle and strong. and she will understand that in fact it is Christ who is present within. It is the Spirit of Christ. Then she will begin talking to him. She will dare to do so and to live this friendship of love. It works so well without taking into consideration the Eucharist that she will eat, that it will come into her heart with the graces that accompany these charismatic graces, that Mary Magdalene will end up leaving everything to retire to a desert and live contemplatively this presence of her God. So it was better that Jesus should go. She was much closer to Jesus after his outward departure from the visible presence and before the resurrection. Similarly, this is surprising, but it happens so that in certain very high residences of the spiritual life, which in fact are very humble residences, the person does not manage any longer to live of the Eucharist, because that the Eucharist is outward present of himself, and that God is always within one's soul. In cases like this, the Eucharist no longer gives the person any assistance, and prayer to God within the soul is enough. However, be very careful. This concerns certain advanced stages of the mystical life. It does not concern us normal Christians at the beginning of our spiritual life.